Rakai, I have no idea who this is, finally goes live and says the streamer awards were rigged and he should have won Breakout Streamer Award.
That's why I didn't even spark stream yesterday, because yesterday I probably said some shit that I probably regretted, and I'm gonna keep it buck, bro. You feel me? But nah, chat, I wouldn't say the shit is rigged, but...
Wasn't Rakai the guy who got in trouble stealing in a store? I don't know. I don't follow flesh people aside from like Asmongold.
You feel me, bro? It's just like, bro, it's fucking rigged, bitch. It's fucking rigged! How the fuck I didn't win? I don't give a fuck! It's rigged! How the fuck I ain't winning that shit? But nah, look though, W a debt, because W a debt, I had to look at myself like,
well, that seems like a bit of an overreaction for the LA Click show. I don't know. That seems like a bit of an overreaction. Maybe he should have won. I don't know. I don't even know who was nominated for that category because I didn't watch them. But I was like, damn, throw a tantrum, that'll help. I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe that's how you get the awards at the Click Awards. You just eventually cry enough and they'll give it to you. I don't know, man. We have a Maximilian dude who won the Legacy Award in 2023 chimes in on his disappointment of the Streamer Awards.
I have deep respect for QT and the show she put on.
I haven't had time to bring it up, but QT actually did some kind of an interview where she said like she regrets being a streamer or some shit, and it's just like, bro, man, it is fucking exhausting to have to, like, watch what you say, otherwise people will try to fucking kneecap your entire career. I could agree with you there. But also, I feel like coming out and saying something like, you know, if you would do this all again, you just wouldn't. It's kind of insulting to the people that elevated you to the point that you are at, able to live off of streaming. Like, it just comes off as a little fucking weird to say to me.
Bro, she does not deserve fuckers. Albeit, well, this is not to me. I'll say what I'll have to say, but most of the people that went to that show don't deserve it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, most of the people that are a part of those events and things like that, they don't deserve a big award show that she puts on and all the effort she puts into it. I really don't think so. I don't think what a lot of people go through is necessarily deserved either. I just think we're not in a space where we can really appreciate this kind of thing at all. Granted, I'm a little biased. I did get the fucking Legacy Award a couple years ago.
I'm a little biased.
At the same point, in what point did it make any sense for me to get that shit into that audience? It didn't. So she didn't need to... I didn't need to be chosen for that.
Interesting.
Anybody else could have gotten that. Still, yeah, I
Streamer Awards are cancer. You do agree?
Deeply feel that if that shit didn't continue, I'm like, yeah, y'all don't deserve this. Y'all can't treat this with an ounce of respectability in any way at all. Y'all can't be professional in any way at all. I just think that this should probably stop, you know?
I feel like I agree with him, but for different reasons. And then we kind of brought this up on Side Scrollers, where Mugen said exactly what we needed to hear at a time like this. He, Peanut, destroyed any goodwill anyone might have had for him and made Ironmouse's life worse, plus VTubers that congratulated him, and has indirectly given his community the pass to continue harassment. Worst case scenario. And this was Peanut basically just saying, you know, it's the 40-year-old men cosplaying as 15-year-old anime girls who are upset about this. And it's the 40-year-old men cosplaying as 15-year-old anime girls who are doing the harassing. You know, it's he feels bad for the good ones like Ironmouse, and I was like, that's a really fucking weird thing to say. The good ones, the red flag, right? Ironmouse's mistake was trying to relate to normies who don't respect her or what VTubers do to begin with. Yeah, there was like a video of her talking to 2 other streamers. Yeah, this one right here.
Oh, is that that's Ironmouse. Oh, what's the word?
Thank God, thank God you got
Ironmouse. How you doing? Post me. Oh, wait, where you at?
What?
Where you at?
I'm at my house.
Oh, okay.
Ironmouse, you are a legend.
Yeah. Haha.
Is that Kai?
What's up, what's up, what's
Kai
up?
Sinette? I
What's
recognize.
up?
Wait, quick question. Neymar, I don't feel me.
Yeah,
Neymar,
no questions out of you today.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
No questions out of you.
yeah.
Yeah, see, he was like, no questions out of you. He's like, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Okay, babe.
Okay, I got a question.
How you look in real life?
Whoa. That is
I don't look
everything?
in real life.
Yeah.
I love how this guy backs up and he's like, I told you not to ask any questions, you dumbass.
Ugly. That's why I'm a VTuber, duh.
You're right.
I got a question. Are you black or white?
I'm Latino. I'm Puerto Rican.
Whoa!
Caloque.
Is
Not Kai. Fuck.
Yeah.
Is Peanut technically a VTuber or not?
Am I technically a
No,
VTuber?
Peanut.
Oh, man, he's a fucking VTuber. What the fuck?
Oh, okay.
Oh. Okay.
Kai doesn't want them to mess with Iron Mouse. He and her community got into a clash and he apologized for it. Yeah, no, I brought that up on Side Scrollers as well. Like when Kai Cenat and Mouse did a collab together and people in his community started like, you know, giving her and just VTubers in general shit, he stood up for them. He was like, don't do that. You know, don't harass these people. Don't do these things to these people. He handled it incredibly fucking well. But that was the video that kicked this all off. And then Iron Mouse said this.
I also saw a tweet about me talking to Rakai and Ray. And a lot
okay,
of
so that
people
was the other
said,
guy we watched who said he
a
should
lot
have
of
won
people
the
are
Breakout
saying
Award.
that I'm basically trying to appeal to people, appease people, fit in with people, that I'm trying to, I'm bending over backwards for people, which that is so untrue. You have no idea. You have no idea what I went through in that moment. So let me explain to you. And I'm here with Rob, and we're walking, getting ready to go to our seats, and I get rushed by Rakai and Ray. I will tell you 100%, I was very uncomfortable to the point where I was shaking because I already knew that I was going to get asked something terrible. I knew that they were going to say something rude to me. Because
Well, their friend tried to stop them. Props to their friend. But also, like, you did say, you can ask me anything? Like, I can understand the social pressure in that where, like, you don't want to be disappointing to someone. But especially if you have somewhere to be, you could have just been like, oh, hey, guys, it's great you stopped by. I'm so sorry we're late. We got to get our seats at this whatever the fuck she said she was going to, you know?
I just know. I know it. Because I'm used to it. Because I already know what people think. And I already know how people treat VTubers.
Well, I mean, yeah.
When a person asks me a stupid question, I give them a stupid answer. That's what I have to say. They asked me what I look like. So I gave them the dumbest answer that I could give them. I was incredibly uncomfortable. I wanted to get out of there. I did not want to talk to them because I knew they were going to ask me very invasive questions. They asked me the dumbest question. So I gave them the dumbest answer. And I was trying to be cordial.
That's a little weird that she opened this with, like, talking about how people said that she's trying to appease people that don't like VTubers, and then goes on to say that she was exactly doing that while she personally felt uncomfortable. A little odd.
I was trying to be nice. It wasn't me trying to appease anybody. It was just me answering in a stupid fashion to get them to leave me alone. After that exchange and we left, I was visibly shaken, and I was with Rob, and I had multiple people come up to me and be like, wow, Mouse, you handled that so well. You handled that so well, Mouse.
I feel like it's just par for the course of, like they could have asked way more invasive questions, and yeah, it's a taboo, like, inside the VTuber community to ask that, but when I've gone on, like, other podcasts with, like, fleshy streamers, there's inevitably somebody that, like, asks that question. It's just something you deal with, and then you give them some kind of, like, well, I'm a VTuber, like, we don't talk about it, it's a secret, I'm part of the FBI Witness Protection Program, you know, like, you tell them in a comedic way that, like, hey, man, ain't no way you're getting that answer. Craig and Blabs do a good answer when people ask. Yeah, like, I feel like it's a little weird to be like, I was shaking from that, maybe. And then Ray, the Asian guy who asked the question, made a response here.
Yo, my Iron Mouse, I still apologize for making you uncomfortable. At the end of the day, I hope you're doing good at your home, and I hope you getting better, okay? Everything is straight positive. Iron Mouth, we like you. You're cool. You're a cool person, and I just hope next time you stream, just be. Yeah, let me calm down. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, bro. At the end of the day, it's still love, bro. The streaming world is still love, bro.
You like seeing Asmon translate for Ray. It's giving like a little bit of deaf accent, but I can understand. Do you guys need me to translate? Who watches? I don't know who these people are. I don't watch many Flesh streamers, man.
Next time, I don't want to see you, okay? I don't want to see you again. This is all I gotta say, bro. Whoever clip, please send no more clips of Iron Mouse in my chat, and I will not react to anything Iron Mouse, and I will not watch an Iron Mouse stream. I will not react to anything clip.
It's like a valid crash out, in my opinion, because like if he doesn't know that like you shouldn't ask VTubers this question, and he's asking it like I've been asked by many Flesh streamers before, right? Like you just give him a funny answer. I could understand why he's just like, I just asked a simple question. I wasn't like, maybe he wasn't trying to be malicious, maybe he was, but if somebody had that reaction to me and they were just like, oh, Kirsha made me so terrified that I was shaking, I'd be like, yeah, don't send me their clips anymore. Why would I ever want to like present this person to my audience? He later talked about suing her in Okay, that's kind of silly. That's kind of silly. Zoomer IRL streamers and VTuber high school drama shit collide. It's just, I feel like this entire thing is just so silly. And like everyone at every turn picks the incorrect choice to further snowball it into further silliness. For whatever reason you agree that he should probably avoid interacting with Iron Mouse in the future, for his sake and hers, 100%. 100%.
Any Iron Mouse clip, I just did, but after the whole shitload, I will not react to any clip of Iron Mouse. And I'll be, oh, shout out to you, Iron Mouse. You're a very cool person, bro. And I apologize for making you uncomfortable. Okay?
He seems very apologetic. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Trying to judge, like, creator apologies, it's kind of like a coin toss unless you know the creator, right? I don't know. You're a cool person, but I would never, ever, ever watch or support her. Normies and VTubers are fundamentally incompatible, and Mouse needs to stop trying to appeal to them. It's just like, the times that I've tried to reach out to like more normie sphere places, like, like with Sargon and whatnot, it boggles my brain that they're just like, I never talked to a VTuber. And it's like, that's cool and all, and I don't want to make you like something you don't like. Oh, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't like listen to some of the research that I've done. I don't want to like cross-pollinate people who don't like VTubers or anime into being in a VTuber community. Cause like why, why would you watch me if you were like an anime racist, right? Iron Mouse is not above criticism, and both her community and circle need to stop glazing her as a blameless victim. Oh, it's just silly. Like, I don't think there's like a necessary victim here. It's just like everyone is being really silly. And sometimes it's hard to tell, like, are you actually being really dumb right now? Or are you doing this for content? Because I've lost the ability to tell when something is manufactured or whether it's just actual genuine idiocy. I'm so tired of the situation. Yeah, but had the best idea. She put everyone involved on the no mention list on Twitter. I like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on now. I like a little bit of what the fuck's going on, but it's just like I think that this is just rocketing into really silly territory, and I wish people would just fucking relax. Again, it's the LA Click Awards. They don't really matter. None of this matters. And like if somebody asks you like a VTuber taboo question, you gotta be prepared for that. Like that's gonna happen if you're going into more like normie flesh spaces. That's just what happens. I'm not even going into like super normie spaces, and there are still people that ask those questions because they're just not in the VTuber sphere. Trump administration orders U.S. national park gift shops to purge merchandise promoting DEI. And my first question is, Why are there national park gift shops with DEI merchandise? What the fuck does that even mean?
National parks across the U.S. must clear their gift shops of any items promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is the order from the Trump administration as it expands its crack.
How to Be a Young Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. Why would that be sold in a national park fucking merch store? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you sell this shit? Fucking based. Get that shit out of there.
Down on DEI. The Interior Department says the goal is to create, quote, neutral spaces that serve all visitors. CBS News correspondent Lana Zach joining us live.
Yeah, national parks should be neutral spaces. Get your, like, fucking weird religious race communism out of here.
Now, so Lana, do we know what items will be banned and how will it be decided what's acceptable and what is not?
Hey there, Juliet. We know when they're supposed to be banned. All national parks and historic sites have until December 19th to remove from their store shelves in any of their gift shops, bookstores, or concession stands anything that runs afoul of President.
If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. What? We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope.
Trump's January order to,
No
as
struggle,
he says,
no progress,
end radical
Frederick
and wasteful
Douglass.
government DEI programs. But as far as what exactly that means, this memo doesn't spell that out. And already there's a rather robust process that vendors have to go through before anything comes onto the store shelves at those national parks and historic sites. So there are critics right now that claim that not only is it unclear exactly what can be appropriate and what is no longer acceptable, but that national parks and historic sites right now are already understaffed, and so many are finding this a waste of government resources at a time when there aren't a lot of extras to expend. And we also heard from Alan Spears at the National Parks Conservation Association, who accused the Trump administration of silencing science and hiding history. Of course, the president's proponents find that this...
I really hate the hiding history part because it's like the anti-racist DEI revisionism history is not the actual history. And it's like, yes, I would love just history as a fact, as what actually happened, to be taught all the time. I don't want this weird for modern audiences twist on everything.
As you said, makes this a more neutral space and that it doesn't help to promote a specific agenda. But again, that memo does not provide any specific examples or guidelines to parks employees.
Lana Zach. Lana, thank you.
Thank you, Lana. Internet Zen Master, thank you. You're gonna give the Trump admin a weird look, but they're giving Ibram X. Kendi Claptrap a place in the national park gift shops. Yeah, get it out. Yeah, why would that be in any national park gift shop? That's fucking so weird. That's so weird. But wave of Gen Z unrest fells its first European government. Bulgaria's government collapses following youth-driven street protests of the kind that have swept parts of the globe. When is it our turn? Disgruntled Gen Z protesters who have toppled governments and rattled rulers across the world this year have claimed their first European victory. Bulgaria's government collapsed Thursday following a wave of youth-driven street protests over entrenched corruption and self-dealing elites widely seen as disconnected from the struggles of ordinary citizens. Bulgaria has become the latest flashpoint in a year marked by Gen Z unrest. Youth protests have felled governments in Nepal and Madagascar in recent months. Demonstrations over perceived privileges enjoyed by political elites have sparked mass rallies in Indonesia and the Philippines. In Tanzania, youth-led anti-government protests were met with lethal government force. Resignation of Bulgaria's coalition government, announced Thursday by Prime Minister Rosen Zelyazkov, comes just weeks before the Balkan country is due to join the euro area. Well, that's kind of fishy. The European Union's currency union. While Bulgaria's government collapse won't stop its planned January 1st switch to the euro, it prolongs a political crisis that has triggered 7 parliamentary elections in just 4 years. Zelyazkov took power in January. Vox Populi, Vox Dei, Zelyazkov said Thursday in Parliament, quoting the Latin for "the voice of the people is the voice of God." We must rise to meet their demands, and their demand is the resignation of the government, he said. The end of Zelyakov's pro-EU cabinet is likely to trigger snap elections in the coming months, possibly reshaping the country's geopolitical outlook. One potential beneficiary is President Rumen Radev, the country's elected head of state and its most popular politician. who was expected to form his own party and could run in the next parliamentary vote. A former Air Force pilot, Rondev has often been critical of Western support for Ukraine in its war with Russia, including by calling Kiev's prospects doomed earlier this year. The immediate trigger for the recent protest was the government's 2026 budget plan, which included a bid to hike spending, a step critics contend would further cement corrupt politicians' control of the country's institutions. Corruption in the Balkan nation of some 6.5 million has long been pervasive, even after having joined the EU in 2007. Consistently ranked as one of the bloc's most corrupt member states by Transparency International, Bulgaria has failed to secure high-level convictions for graft in recent years, fueling public anger and drawing repeated criticism from Brussels over its record on rule of law. Now, the public outrage has boiled over. Tens of thousands protested on Wednesday evening in Sofia and other cities, the latest in a string of demonstrations in the capital and elsewhere in recent weeks. Mobilized on TikTok and other social media platforms, Bulgarians marched with signs reading "Gen Z is coming" and "Gen Z versus corruption" at a demonstration outside the parliament building in the Bulgarian capital. A giant screen looped videos and memes ridiculing politicians. When is it our turn? The Generation Alpha Legion will lead us to victory. This is fucking amazing, man. I love hearing this shit. It instills so much hope. No longer are we sucking on the copium. We have hopium, lads. It's complicated, Kirsha. The government is organizing its own protest and resignation. Trust you, you're Bulgarian. Oh, brother mans. How can the government have a counter protest? That's crazy. Oh, is this any different from the color revolutions that were bullshit? Well, I mean, Nepal was taking their government back from communists. The things in Mexico were also against the communists. So it's not a color revolution if you're trying to get communists out of your government. The protests showed that there is enough civil energy in young generations to step against the perceived hubris of an entrenched political and economic elite that has taken advantage of state capture practices to remain in power. Martin Vladimirov, director of the Geoeconomics program at the Center for the Study of Democracy, a Sofia-based think tank. That's a lot of fucking people. That is a lot of fucking people. For many, this was their first major protest. Bulgaria's Gen Z has grown up without experience of the communist era that ended in 1989, or the devastating economic crisis that followed its collapse. Their grievances span everything from the impunity of political elites to the state of the healthcare system to a lack of well-paying jobs. What did they mean by this? What did they mean by Bulgaria's Gen Z has grown up without the experience of the communist era that ended in 1989? Is this like trying to imply that they are protesting for communism? Because that would be a very dumb thing to do. Like, I'm all for protesting your grievances for the political elite being scumfucks, because they are. But if you're doing it to try and institute communism, that's not a good thing. Overthrowing your own government and handling foreign adversaries are very different things. Gen Z doesn't have the stones for the latter. Dobromir name. Hello, thank you, Dobromir. You predicted this when they denied you the referendum on the introduction of euro as a currency for the second time. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you know more about what's going on than I do, because as an outsider looking in, it's just like, this is a lot of information, and I really don't know what's going on in the Bulgarian area. What we see at the end of this won't be communism as it's understood, but it needs to happen was as much as the anti-DEI and anti-immigration needs to happen. Fact is, we need to be anti-corpo too. True. From what it sounds to you, they want their complaints to be addressed, but didn't think out anything beyond the get them out. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know more information, because, like, you know, as someone who knows nothing that's going on in Bulgaria, it's just like, well, if it is like the other Gen Z protests in Nepal and Madagascar and Mexico and whatever, then this, in theory, should be a good thing. The timing is a little weird, and it's also weird that the article said that, like, Gen Z's grown up without the experience of the communist era, so it makes it sound like Gen Z is marching for communism with the wording, which would be a weird thing to do. Outrage has also been palpable online, where debates over democracy, corruption, and press freedom have been trending. Many influencers and actors joined the rallies. New memes were born, including placards that read, "Take your girlfriend on a date" at the protest. Angel Ignatov, a project manager working in the IT industry in Sofia, said that after studying in the UK, decided to help improve his homeland, but now deepening corruption and a litany of government missteps have pushed him to join the rallies. There's a whole generation like me, Ignatov said. We just don't want this for our country. Yeah, I mean, if they're trying to bring back fucking commie shit, I would understand why you don't want that in your country, especially if your country has suffered under communism previously. People are starting to think that democracy isn't working for them, which is worrisome. I mean, democracy isn't working. Well, I mean, one of the first things you need to do to ensure something actually works for you is maybe instituting ID. You know, the fact that America still doesn't require ID to vote is a huge fucking problem. And it's wild that this has been a talking point for the entirety of my life. I feel like that just goes to show how little things actually fucking happen. Viral footage shows DoorDash driver allegedly pepper spraying customers' food order during delivery.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Viral footage has captured the moment a DoorDash delivery driver may have pepper sprayed a customer's order during a delivery in Evansville, Indiana, according to local authorities and the company. The incident occurred early Sunday morning and appeared to be a random attack that reportedly caused a couple excruciating pain. Doorbell camera footage shows a woman with purple hair dropping off an Arby's order, seemingly taking a photo, then discreetly spraying the bag with an irritant before slipping the spray back into her jacket pocket and leaving. Why would you do this? What is even the point? Like, I feel like if you don't have a doorbell camera in current year, like, that's kind of retarded, first of all. But, like, even if you thought there was no camera, why would you do this? Local officials told Fox News Digital Wednesday that authorities have launched a criminal investigation into the incident. The Vanderburgh County Sheriff's Office is investigating a reported incident in which a food delivery driver allegedly sprayed an irritant substance onto a customer's order before leaving the residence, Sheriff Noah Robinson said. During the early morning hours of December 7th, deputies responded to a local home after the occupants became ill shortly after consuming their delivered meal. The individuals reported experiencing burning sensations in their stomach, throat, mouth, and nose, and later discovered video footage showing the delivery driver spraying a substance onto the food bag prior to departure. Resident Mark Cardin told local media, WFIE, that he and his wife did not realize the food had been tampered with until they began eating. I noticed my wife had started eating and she started choking and gasping, Cardin said. After she had a couple of bites of her food, she actually threw up. I had a look at the bag and seen that there was some kind of spray or something. The bag had been tampered with. So I pulled up my doorbell camera and seen that the lady who dropped off the food had actually tampered with it on purpose for some reason. In several posts on Facebook, Cardin added that he did not know the driver, suggesting that the attack was random, adding that she had already blocked him on the DoorDash app after the delivery. I didn't even know that the delivery drivers could block you on the app. That's crazy. This bitch is crazy. What the fuck? I think if you tamper with someone's food, you should catch an attempted murder charge. Hot take. He described the incident to WFIE as terrifying, noting that they could have unknowingly ingested something far more dangerous. It's horrific, Cardin said. We assume it's pepper spray. That's more than likely what it is, but now, in this day and age, it could have been anything. It could have been rat poison, it could have been fentanyl. I mean, my wife could have been dead. And he's right. He is absolutely right. Cardin told WFIE that DoorDash has since refunded his order. I think he should get more than just a refund, man. DoorDash told Fox News Digital Wednesday that it has terminated the employee. We have zero tolerance for this type of appalling behavior, a DoorDash spokesperson said. The Dasher in question has been permanently removed from the platform, and our team is standing by to support law enforcement with any investigation. Well, at least DoorDash has covered their ass from any kind of lawsuit. But hopefully, whatever this guy does to the perpetrator, he can fucking take them for all they're worth. That is insane, dude. The identity of the delivery driver has not been confirmed and no arrests have been made. The sheriff's office also said it's coordinating with DoorDash as the investigation moves forward. Anyone with information relevant to this case is asked to contact the Vanderburgh County Sheriff's Office. Mark Cardin declined a request for comment from Fox News Digital, and Arby's did not immediately respond. Why would Arby's respond? I've always wondered what possesses people to use a service like DoorDash to deliver a hot prepared meal from 3 or 4 different hands involved in making the meal, packaging the meal, etc. to your front door. If people thought long enough and hard enough and imagined that someone could be delivering a meal to their front door, and on the way they open it up and take out a couple of french fries, maybe eat out of your salad, use your imagination. I think this is a bit fear-mongery. We've had food delivery for fucking ever, and like there's always been some shitty people that end up like being in the food delivery service. All right, like you've had stories about this happening like, you know, forever pretty much. But it seems like with DoorDash, there's even more people doing it. I guess maybe because it's easy to just defraud like the DoorDash or Uber Eats system, where they'll have like one person on file, but then they'll share around to like people who use the account. Last you read about this, the local police are looking to charge the woman with food tampering. Good. She needs fucking charges. And I think I do have the video here. Like, why would you do that? What possesses you to do that? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
My wife had started eating and she started choking and gasping, and after she had had a couple bites of her food, she actually threw up. It's pepper spray, it's more than likely what it is, but now in this day age, it could have been anything. Could have been rat poison, could have been fentanyl. You know, I mean, my wife could have been dead. Definitely want to see her prosecuted.
Yeah, I'm glad he has that opinion. I'm glad we're not seeing someone like, oh, you know, people make mistakes. I'm glad he's like, yeah, I want to see you prosecuted. Get that bitch out of here. She realized she's delivering food for a straight couple and decided she wants to fuck them over. I don't know. I need to hear a fucking reason for this, man. This is crazy. Like, what possibly possesses this individual to do that shit? A black man was acquitted of stabbing a white man in Oregon after he claimed the attack was self-defense because the victim called him a racial slur. That happened after the stabbing! What kind of jury was this? Forget perceiving breakfast. They can't even perceive things in front of them. Gary Edwards, 43, was charged with second-degree assault for stabbing a man in Portland near a light rail stop on July 8th. However, he was found not guilty of the crime on October 31st after the jury learned the victim was using racial slurs in the aftermath of the altercation. How? How can you say, because racial slurs were used after the stabbing, that the stabbing was in self-defense? That doesn't make sense! Edwards, who is homeless and has a previous assault conviction, admitted to knifing the victim, Gregory Howard Jr., but claimed it was in self-defense because the other man called him the N-word. Can we just pretend we live in Bizarro World for a second? Even if this man said the N-word before the stabbing happened, which he didn't, it happened after the stabbing, but even if he did, that is not reason to get stabbed. You may not like the word, you may think the word is filthy and disgusting and should never be uttered by another human being, but it is not a reason to stab someone. It is not a reason to escalate to physical violence. And it's insane that people would not only disagree with me, but call me racist for saying that. Just another reason to never live in a Democrat-run hellhole. It's really depressing. It's really depressing because it's like in America, the one thing you could count on was freedom of speech, right? And people will say, well, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, but it means that your government isn't going to persecute you for the things that you say. And here, the jury of this guy's peers basically said, yeah, actually, it's okay that you got stabbed because of words you said after the stabbing. This is where we are now. Carmelo Anthony, allegedly, murdered that white track dude. He got off on bail. He has an ankle monitor. He was allowed to graduate. He's going to college. Irina Zarutska got murdered on the train. Thankfully, Irina's law got passed. Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. What has happened with that? And now we have some guy senselessly stabbing a white dude on the street, and the white dude gets no justice from it because he happened to say a no-no word after he got stabbed. Where does it stop? Because it has to stop or it will escalate, and you don't want it to escalate. I have a feeling because the majority of people in power who could fix things like this are doing nothing, that it's just going to keep escalating in the bad way. And we're going to be reading quite a lot more of these Clown World-esque articles. Security cameras with no audio captured Edwards with a fixed blade knife in hand approaching Howard as he sat on a bench. Edwards' defense attorney Daniel Small noted that the knife was folded and reportedly told the jury his client was approaching Howard to see if he would trade. Howard jumped up and pushed Edwards, and then the two scuffled until Edwards stabbed Howard in the shoulder. What other than racism could explain why Mr. Howard perceived hatred, animosity, and aggression from a complete stranger? I don't know, man. Even if the knife is folded, if a complete fucking stranger approaches me with a knife in their hand, I'm not going to assume good intent. What the fuck do you mean? That has nothing to do with race and everything to do with he was carrying a blade in his hand. Moments later, body camera footage from security officers captured Howard shouting a racist slur at Edwards after he had been stabbed. According to Small, transit officers told police they heard the N-word being shouted, and Howard allegedly told cops he sensed Edwards go by and it made his hairs stand on end. Well, he's carrying a knife. Prosecutor Catherine Williams told the jury it did not matter what the victim said after he was stabbed, which is true. The defendant is not scared for his life. He didn't retreat. He sauntered up and he sauntered away after he stabbed someone. Defendant created the situation, Williams said. Despite the prosecutor's pleas, the jury found Edwards not guilty. Insane. In-fucking-sane that they found him not guilty. Edwards' lawyer insisted the case never should have gone to trial. I laid my cards out on the table and told the state how the trial would go, but it didn't matter, he told Oregon Live. Edwards, who was homeless, spent about 3 months in custody before the trial after prosecutors argued he was a threat to public due to his lengthy criminal record, according to the outlet. Another one with a lengthy criminal record! Why was he even on the fucking street to stab someone? Security cameras with no audio captured Edwards with a fixed blade knife in hand approaching Howard as he sat on the bench. Yeah, that is the normal reaction when someone approaches you with a knife in their hand. What the fuck do they mean? He was convicted of attempted second-degree assault in 2021 and was sentenced to 3 years in prison for another stabbing in 2020. He already has a stabbing sentence, and you want to genuinely get anyone to believe that he wasn't going to stab this guy when he walked up to him with a knife. I hate our non-justice system. Small said that Howard, who has a previous conviction for felony rape of a child, has a history of racial violence. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is the guy who got stabbed also out of prison? If he has a conviction for felony rape of a child, why is he outside? Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone in this article should not be a part of society. The stabbing should have happened the stabbing should have happened in prison. That's not a hot take. Forget it. It's Portland. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy that you have deranged man with a long criminal rap sheet. And it's like he just goes up to another deranged man with a child rape conviction. What are the fucking odds, dude? Wow, I hate everyone involved. And Portland, I guess, is just a prison city. What the fuck? We have more judges. This one looks like that shrunken head guy from Beetlejuice. Judge's name, Susan C. Worthington. Look at this stupid bitch. 78 years to 0 because of this cow. Because of this fucking lady cosplaying as the shrunken head from Beetlejuice. Oklahoma teen confronted after avoiding all jail time despite being convicted of raping 2 high school students. Jesse Butler was facing a 78-year sentence but was granted youthful offender status. The rapist so badly assaulted one of the girls that she needed surgery on her neck. According to the girl, Butler repeatedly raped and strangled her. The girl was about 30 seconds from losing her life, according to a doctor. Butler was only placed on probation despite the horrific details, avoiding 78 years behind bars. His father is a former football director at Oklahoma State University. Why would the judge do this? Why is she allowed to still be a judge? So many questions. So little answers, because how do you even try? How do you even try to become to understand how these things are happening? Like, it's just wild.
To say to the victims, being loud is not a violation. Sir, you have anything to say to the victims? You have anything to say to the victims, Jesse? Why did you rape them, Jesse? Why did you rape the victims, Jesse? Why did you rape those girls? Why did you strangle them, Jesse?
I love the inflection in that guy's voice. Sometimes a journalist can be okay.
Jesse, why did you rape those girls, Jesse? Do you have anything to say to the victims, Jesse? Why did you rape those girls? Are you as dumb as they say you are, Jesse? Is that why you were adjudicated a juvenile, because you're that stupid? Are you that dumb, Jesse? Why did you rape the girls?
I don't think the insanity defense should be a real defense. If you're too dumb to understand what you did is wrong, you should not be allowed back into society.
Jackie, why are you defending your rapist son? Jesse, come on, talk to us. Why'd you rape the girls? Come on, Jackie. Let him talk to us. Let him explain why he raped them.
Do you feel bad for being a rapist?
Why'd you rape him?
Do you feel bad for being a rapist, Jesse?
Why'd you rape him?
Oh god, at least the people surrounding him are doing the correct thing. Look at how his mom treats him like a baby who can do nothing wrong. The parents should be held accountable too. I fucking hate that. I don't know if this guy is actually like impaired or not, but if you give like the full coddle baby treatment, even if someone is mentally impaired, they will learn to take advantage of that. They will be able to learn that, oh, if I do this thing, they will be lenient with me and give me the things that I want.
Give me your wallet and phone and stuff. So, okay. Your what?
They're in the car.
Well, okay, it's fine. It's not locked or anything, is it? Okay. So, can you tell him what you just told me, or?
Yeah. So we're here. We're obviously going to place you under arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest. We're going to take you to the jail. I told your mom that she can contact a bondsman, and you shouldn't be very long. But there just is a process for paperwork and stuff.
Like, I could see her acting that way if this was, like, some sort of petty theft charge, maybe, but, like, he brutally fucking raped 2 women! What the fuck? What the fuck is this mother smoking?
But right now, you do have to come with us, and I do have to put you in handcuffs, so turn around for me.
You have to put him in handcuffs? You know what the limit is. So, here, look.
Yeah.
I'll get you out. For me? Alright, stay silent. Rick knows about this. Candy's on this. Dad's on his way. We're coming to get you, okay? Stay strong, okay? Say your prayers.
Okay, so we will. He's going to go right to the
I think
city
staying
Stillwater
strong
jail.
is the last thing he needs to do, considering that's what he did when he did the crime. Like, what the fuck, woman? What the fuck is this?
And if you'll just contact her, then she does this all the time. She knows what to do.
Yeah.
Make sure
Okay.
she knows Stillwater Police Department, not a county.
Yeah.
Stillwater Police Department.
Yeah.
On Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them know that we're the ones that picked him up.
And
They
when
don't-
you say we are the
Stillwater PD.
Stillwater PD.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way they don't think he went like straight over and he's over at the county.
Awful experience for the child.
Patch it down, spread your feet for me.
Did she just say this is an awful experience for a child? You know what's an awful experience? Getting raped and brutally beaten to the point of almost fucking dying. What does she mean by this? That is insane. I kind of want to see if there's like an article with more information, because what the hell? Payne County prosecutor responds to public outcry over the Jesse Butler case. More than a month after a Payne County court gave youthful offender status to Jesse Mack Butler, the prosecutor in the rape and assault case has issued a statement trying to explain what happened. Butler's negotiated sentence of community service, rehabilitation, counseling, and a curfew triggered protesters in Stillwater. The former high school baseball player was prosecuted on charges of attempted rape in the first degree, rape by instrumentation, sexual battery, forcible oral sodomy, domestic assault and battery by strangulation, and violating a protective order. On top of all of this, one of the victims already had a restraining order? And you want to tell me you gave this demon rehabilitation? Brother, what the fuck, dude? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. Should this be community service and rehabilitation? A lifetime in prison would have been too good for this person. Come the fuck on. He ultimately pleaded no contest to all 11 counts filed against him in a plea deal that let him avoid prison. How do you plead guilty to all of this and that is how you avoid prison? What the fuck? Now, Laura Austin Thomas, the district attorney for Payne County, has issued a statement saying that her office initially filed charges as an adult to make sure the case remained public. Butler was 16 and 17 during the criminal acts, which qualified him for juvenile or youthful offender status. But the serious nature of the charges gave prosecutors the option of bringing Butler to adult court. Butler turned 18 about a month before charges were filed. Even if he hadn't turned 18, he should have been tried as an adult for the violent nature of the crimes. That is infuriating. absolutely fucking infuriating that he was just let fucking go. What the fuck is wrong with people? If the case were initially filed in juvenile court where most crimes committed by minors are prosecuted, the allegations against Butler would have remained confidential with no threat of him being incarcerated in an adult facility. Years of experience tell us that juries often struggle with convicting defendants based upon delayed reports of sexual assault between people in ongoing, consensual dating relationships, and the trial process can be very traumatic for victims, said Thomas. What the fuck do you mean by this? One of the women he raped had a literal protective order. What the fuck do you mean? Delayed reports of sexual assault between people in ongoing consensual dating relationships. What the fuck do you mean by this? Nonetheless, after consultation with the victims and their families, we chose to file this matter and to file it in adult court rather than juvenile court in order to bring the serious behavior at issue into the public eye and with hopes of avoiding a later reclassification of the case to juvenile status. In her statement, Thomas explained that the youthful offender sentence requires Butler to complete his rehabilitation plan successfully, including completion of an aggravated schedule of therapy with a specialist. Hot fucking take. If this guy is viciously beating and raping women, at least one of which had already had a protective order against him, why the fuck would you think that person is rehabilitatable? Unless your rehabilitation is a fucking lobotomy, what are we doing here? What the fuck? We explained that youthful offender was the most likely final outcome, particularly because the 2 counts of attempted rape were the only alleged crimes among the 11 charged that even qualified the case for filing in adult court. Yeah, you know, brutally beating the women, that's completely fine. It's only the attempted rape that escalated it. Chat, I am tired of living in a society. And additionally, because existing law strongly favors providing offenders under 18 an opportunity for rehabilitation. Change the fucking law. Change the fucking law. I don't give a shit. If you are a teenager, you know enough to know that rape is bad. Charge them as an adult. That is wild. Change the fucking law. I am tired of this leniency. The ultimate resolution of the case, reached without either victim having to testify or face cross-examination in a contested proceeding, included the accused agreeing not to challenge any of the allegations and to be sentenced to the outcome described above, including the potential for imprisonment in the penitentiary. I can understand not wanting victims to testify or face cross-examination, but oftentimes not doing that is how the perpetrator gets such a light sentence. Like, I very, very genuinely understand how much strength and courage it takes for someone who's been a victim of some kind of violence to stand up and face the person who did that to them in court. But that is the best way to assure that something actually does happen to them. In this case, since it seems like it's a shitty-ass corrupt judge, it might have unfortunately been for naught, but that's why we should have a justice system that actually works for victims and for the citizens of this country instead of working to protect the criminals. We need these judges to get the fuck out of their positions, and I have a tab for that. Critics of the plea deal and Butler's sentence have pointed out that the 18-year-old's family is prominent in both the city and Oklahoma State University. Butler was a popular baseball player at his high school in Stillwater, and his father is the former director of operations for the OSU football team. The special judge who granted Butler youthful offender status, Susan Worthington, also has long-standing ties to OSU, where she earned 2 bachelor's degrees. And there's the connection, brother. Mercy for the criminal should not come at the expense of their victims. It absolutely should not. This is incredibly disgusting. And I hope people keep protesting and trying to do something. But I don't think anything's going to get done unless you can remove that judge from the bench. Like, again, I'm glad that you can now, like, bring, I don't know if you can now or if it's still in the process of being signed, but like the Trump executive order thing, I think, where they're just like, you'll be able to bring civil cases against judges that let repeat offenders go. It needs to be more than just the civil cases, and I hope it will end up being more than just civil cases. Like, that is a very good beginning to at least wedge your toe in the door, but you need to bust that door wide fucking open. There need to be criminal charges against the judges that do this shit. Absolutely insane that this is something that we have to deal with. Stillwater teen Jesse Butler walks free after multiple rape charges, 0 jail time. Jesse Butler will serve no jail time, just counseling, curfews, community service, and supervision until he turns 19. Not even a fucking year. This week's final sentencing paperwork dropped, and that's why the entire internet snapped at once. Newly surfaced details show exactly what he did. Multiple rapes, strangulation, 2 victims, recorded evidence, and prior protective order violation. After all that, he walked out of court adjusting his cuffs like he was late to brunch. Prosecutors originally sought 78 years, and then the judge reclassified him as a youthful offender, a judge with documented ties to his family. Why did power protect violence in this situation? Not really a question, because that's exactly what it's been doing for years now.
Jesse Mack Butler from Stillwater, Oklahoma was charged with 11 felonies. Police found video on his phone of him assaulting girls. One girl was strangled unconscious and had to go emergency vascular surgery. That is attempted murder territory, but he was never charged with that. Jesse Mack Butler didn't avoid prison by accident. People in power protected him, and today I'm going to show you exactly who they are. First up, we have Judge Susan C. Worthington. She approved the youthful offender classification that let Butler avoid prison entirely. Next, we have District Attorney Laura Austin Thomas. Her office agreed to the deal instead of pushing for real prison time. Next up is the Executive Director of Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs, who will now be supervising him like he's some troubled teen and not a violent predator. His name is Timothy Tardabono. He was handed a fake 78-year sentence on paper, but the court stayed it, meaning he doesn't serve a single day in prison as long as he follows his rehab program. Rehab after strangling a girl unconscious? Make that make sense.
Right?
And he isn't on any registry. You will not be notified if he moves next door to you. He could be anywhere right now. This wasn't justice. This was power protecting violence. Jesse Mack Butler from...
That's exactly what this was, and that is what our system will continue to do until judges start facing consequences for this shit. They need to be disbarred, they need to be removed from their positions, and they should never be allowed to hold another judiciary position. This says, holy shit, the moment El Salvador President Bukele found out gangs were reorganizing in El Salvador, he sent 1,500 soldiers to find them. We will not allow them to reorganize. The safest country on the continent is respected. This is how it should be done. A lot of military hanging out. Got a floppy beret hat on that guy in the front earlier. Introduction. Their camo's a bit blue, isn't it? Tonight we ride. Yeah! He's a PNG. You're energized. DG Armor energized. And then someone, Carolyn Leavitt, parody account. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele reacts to activist judges overstepping their authority to hamstring Trump and Doge. That's exactly what judges were doing in El Salvador in 2021. So we impeached them all and then proceeded to fix the country. I do not think Trump has the balls to attempt to impeach all of the judges. I also do not think if he tried, it would succeed. But damn, what a beautiful dream. Republicans definitely don't. You can just do things. I wish you could just do things. That is my desire. I wish we could just do things. U.S. Embassy India posted, U.S. consular offices will deny visa tourist applications if they believe the primary purpose of travel is to give birth in the United States to obtain U.S. citizenship for the child. This is not permitted, so, hell yeah. We're gonna be getting rid of, tourist births for once. Fucking about time, right? Fucking about time. I like how this top comment here. Excuse me, are you perhaps saying that until now birthing tourism was not denied? It's amazing just how many people have no idea what's been going on. It's a little funny. It's a little crazy. I am very excited for the Supreme Court to hear about birthright citizenship, honestly.